Tell me what the sort of the client set is, the business set, the customer set for Tru Optik, and where you hope to bring it.
Sure. So essentially, at a high level, we focus on three areas. The first is kind of people that professionally produce content. So these would be broadcasters or publishers. Those could be some of the larger, names that are household names, all the way down to kind of digital pure plays. And the second set is essentially people that power the programmatic infrastructure. So that could be the SSPs that work with large content producers, all the way through to DSPs that help people make better decisioning and buying of inventory. And then the third set of customers that we focus on are agencies and marketers.
So tell us about just fill us in on what that offering is.
Sure. So for agency and marketers, what we're doing is essentially two things. The work that we're doing is in data and measurement, and they are both powered essentially by the same core asset that Tru Optik has been building for quite some time. What that is a household graph of OTT/connected TV households. It numbers 75 million now, and it continues to grow. We today have mapped via direct measurement over 80% of all connected TV households, so it's quite large. And so the way that is utilized is when we look at the targeting side of the business, what Tru Optik is able to do is help agencies and marketers use precise targeting of segments that they're very familiar with and can access via their DSPs. There are thousands of segments that we have. Think about people that are in market for a vehicle, or look to you need to reach a certain type of demographic for a CPG product, et cetera. So that's the first offering in terms of kind of data. Similarly is the measurement side of the business. And again, we're using the household graph to allow those same agencies and marketers solve a real challenge for them, which is transparency in the measurement of these connected TV households. And so the measurement product is able to, in real time, directly measure connected TV households. And what we're looking at are several things. The first thing that we're looking at is unique reach against an audience. The second thing we're looking at is frequency of those audiences. And then the third thing that we're looking at is in-target reach against these audiences. It's very, very powerful, and heretofore there really hasn't been a solution that's been solely focused on OTT and connected television to directly measure these audiences. So those are the two things, data and measurement.
So what is the source of the data? Where do you guys, how do you map 75 million?
Sure. How do we do that? So the company started by essentially aggregating signals from the household. Today, you have 92 million households have a smart TV, and that number is continuing to grow. So we use that as really the anchor of this graph. And so we've gone out and we have directly measured, not via panel, but directly measured these, as I said, 75 million and growing. But it starts with the smart TV or the connected TV in the household. But most households, if you're like my household, you have a lot more devices. My last count was 15 devices in our household, including our 2 smart TVs. And so your mobile device, tablet, and any other laptop or maybe a desktop machine. But if you're essentially getting a signal, what Tru Optik is able to do is take all of the different and disparate signals that those devices emit and aggregate those to attach it to one common household number. And so other solutions that have been done heretofore have kind of looked at kind of each individual device separately. We don't do that. We roll all of those up, we give it one household ID, and then we're able to kind of match that with targeting partnerships as well as with measurement solutions. So it's very unique in the industry to have that, and it's something that solves a lot of problems for buyers on the agency and marketer side.
So Richard, what's next? I know you've just started, you're getting started, but how do you see the roadmap ahead?
Sure, so I did just start a few days ago. Essentially, the core things that you would expect. Spending time in market, kind of listening to the challenges that folks that I've known for many, many years around getting addressability, as well as accountability against TV audiences. So that's kind of job one, is listening. The second is we're obviously hiring. We, as you know, we recently hired Jonathan Bokor. Jonathan comes out of Publicis. Prior to that, he was at Canoe. He's an expert in advanced television, so he's focused on kind of, as Chief Privacy Officer and Head of Business Affairs, he's focused on kind of that side of the business. So between listening to what the market needs and bringing on the right people, we're going to be out, obviously sharing this solution to the marketplace. So that's really kind of the three primary things that are kind of immediately in my line of sight.